Hi, today in this video we're going to cover how you capture and then import images into Acadicus for use in your VR simulations. So the first thing we want to start with is, we're here on our desktop and we're going to look here in our file manager because you need to understand where your documents are first going to be located and they're going to be on the computer that your headset is connected to. And on that computer, in your documents folder, is a folder called Acadicus that got created when you installed Acadicus onto your machine. And so what we're going to do is if you open this folder, right, you can see that I've got some other folders, some other files. But the important one here is this one called Media Import. So when your headset is connected and your Acadicus is running, you are able to access this file folder from within VR. And so the files that you have in here, as long as they're .png, .jpg, or video files that are .mp4, will be accessible to you when you're in your headset to be able to be brought into your VR experience. And so it's important to understand, again, it's documents, a catechus, media import is where you're going to save things. Now let's do a quick example. Let's say I have a slide that I've created that used PowerPoint here. This is going to be a little Quizlet I'm going to bring in. I'm going to drop our little answer assets on top of these selections so our students can select what the correct answer is. And so I've created this now in PowerPoint. And again, quick example. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go Save a Copy, right? Pulls up this dialog. I'm going to browse. And remember, we're looking for a very specific folder in Documents, Acadicus, Media Import. Now, we can't use a PowerPoint presentation in Acadicus. So what we're going to do is if we drop down this Save dialog, right, you can see all these options, and we're going to pick PNG, right? So what it's going to do essentially is to save this file, or if I had multiple files, I could say save the multiple files in the PNG format in this folder. I'm going to go save just this one, or I can say all because it's just one. That's fine. Now let's get this out of the way. And I have that slide there. Now, in this particular case, it created it in a folder, which I don't want. So I'm going to actually slide this up and out. So now, okay, there it is, slide one. So when we get into the headset, I'll be able to grab that out of there. All right. It can't be nested in another folder. It's got to be out here by itself. So that's why you saw me pull it out of there. Second way of creating this is, let's say you found an image or a document, a PDF that you're dealing with and you can't convert it over easily like we can in PowerPoint to PNG. You can just get an image of it on your screen. And then depending on your browser, right, on my browser, I'm using Edge, I have this little screenshot feature and I can go grab it, or I have my little snipping tool up here that allows me, every Windows system has this, and I can bring it down and out here. Let's get it off the picture if I can. And I'm going to do new, right? And then I'm going to grab this image and the footer. And it looks good. And then the snipping tool will let me save, right? Save as. And again, right? I'm going to go Acadicus, Media Import. You can see I have a couple of file types I can use. I typically use PNG. I might give this a name, digestive system, and try to avoid spaces, special characters. Right, system doesn't like that. Digestive system, that looks good. That'll let me know what I'm dealing with. I click save. All right, I got my checkbox. So if I go back here, I now have two files that I'm dealing with. So it's slide one and digestive system. And again, you can rename these, but avoid special characters, avoid spaces, just lowercase, as simple as you can make it. Okay, so now we've saved our documents into our media import folder that we're going to bring into here into VR. Now I'm using our Acadicam camera, and I have it situated so that I can bring up our simulation manager and be able to show you how we then utilize those images here in VR. So we're going to start with assets. And here I've went into our category sorter and picked utilities. And if I go to the second page, you'll find image display slideshow. I could go up here also and just type image, and that will also bring it up. So now I can pull that out, and there we are. I'm going to go back to Sim Manager and see that we can see that pretty well. I can put it out there a little bit. Look at the Acadicam again. Okay, so we've got our menu here, and we've got our image display viewer kind of out there just beyond our menu. So what I'm going to do here in Sim Manager is go over and select that image display slideshow. You can kind of see how it lights up. And I'm going to go to the Upload tab. Now the Upload tab is what connects back to the computer and looks in that Documents Acadicus Media Import folder and shows me the documents that I have there to upload. Remember, right now those images exist on the computer, and we're going to upload them into our lab here in Acadicus. And so I can take that slide, let's say I'm going to work with the digestive system slide, and I'm going to click Upload. And typically with little slides like this, couple of seconds and it's done. So what I've done is now move that copied it actually from my computer up into my lab. So now it's available for me to work with. So now I can pick the Images tab, and I have quite a few images saved here in my lab. So you'll see images here that aren't in my media import folder, but I've uploaded them here. So they're here available for me to work with. But I'm going to go to the end, the 6th page, where that last image will have come in. Now, when I select that, I get the option to add it or delete it from my lab. And so what I'm going to do is click Add. And then what you'll see, I'll get rid of my menu in a minute, is that it put it right there nicely in the image viewer. And so let me go back to Sim Manager and Acadicam, make sure we can see it. So now I have a number of things that I can do with this image display viewer. Obviously, I've got my gizmo up here, right? So you can see I can stretch this and size it kind of whatever is necessary for me for the class, right? Whether they're going to be close or far away, I can rotate it around so they can get the best view of it, of course. Put it up on the wall, whatever I need to do with it. But here and again, I'm just going to check and make sure, yep, we can see okay. Very good. Here in this tab, the Display tab, if I were to bring in a series of images, in fact, if I go back to Upload, and let's go ahead and just grab this slide. Okay, that came in quickly. And you can see images, right? I can actually go here. I'm going to add this image now. And so I'll get rid of that so we can kind of see. And maybe I want to make this one a little bit smaller because it came in really large, right? I want to make sure we can see it really well here. Great. And let me check my Acadicam. Perfect. But now back here in the options in Simulation Manager under Display, you can see I now have 2 images, right? And I can, maybe I want this one first. I can move it. I can move it back, put it in any order I want. And then I have options where, do I want this to be seen from either side, right? Or do I want a black background on it? Do I want to enable the slideshows controls so that the students can move them slide to slide as they want? And do I want them always on, or do I only want them to come on when the individual might hover their laser over top? Or do I want to auto cycle it, right? So I can cycle through, perhaps this is a slideshow that I'm going to have continually running within the environment for whatever reason, and I want it to cycle every couple of seconds. So it'll go back and forth between those slides. And let's say I go ahead and leave that lit, and we were to start this slideshow up, it would run every 3 seconds in transition. So again, I have this capability to bring in multiple slides, right? Upload them, grab those images. Let me move my menu just a bit. Grab those images, put them in sequence, and then give options to the students who will be interacting with them or reading them. So a lot we can do here in Acadicus, and I hope this has been helpful for you. And if you need us, don't hesitate to reach out. We're always there.